I'm so I'm slowly dying in a death stream. uh, what is it? Okay, I really. So we are. I want kind of. I don't know what to do. I kind of have two options. Huh. I'm dying. I'm dying, gamers. Hmm? 29. So. Okay, I don't have enough. So I kind of want to do Slayers. Mainly. Weirdly enough. The only. Just because of the new update. I kind of want to get this ready. And then what I should probably aim for is, if I can't do the 3, then I am switching to going for some item boosting up damage. I'm suffering. I have I love allergies. I'm sick. No, but I want to make a thing because V Jojo are down. And then I had some takes, and it might take because one of my only complaints was literally how they were running. The literal only thing of I would go and ask, and it already got disproven. I would simply go and ask, hey, how the company run? Because from what I'm fight me, spider, fight me all. But the only reason is because I didn't. Because on. I'm slowly. Yeah, no, but as I was saying, the literal only complaint I have for it's hey, okay, I'm saying it. Because the literal only thing I wanted to ask was with literally how. Okay, what basically about like the charity, mainly because I figure out. Oh, I don't even have a bow. I don't even have a bow. I don't even have a bow on me. What? I genuinely just didn't realize. I'm sorry. I thought there was something. No. Yeah, but no, as I was saying, like the little only question I had was, yeah, I can't do that. I need to boost up damage output. Like the little only thing I had was Slayer, you, which I need Spire Catalyst. But okay, going into what I'm about to say. Literally the only thing I had was basically how they were basically running it. Mainly that the company that will, because I'm just going to go, by the way, the plan's simple. I'm going to go probably fishing or something. Mainly because I need some form of damage. Which either mean, wait. Okay, going in back. One, two. Okay, going into it. Basically, the only complaint I had was basically how the charity aspect, mainly due to I didn't vote because I would. Mainly in the nicest way. How it's supposed to happen. I think on attribute Yog, tree lurkers, don't care about that. I should have flaming spider, which what is that? Soul. Ooh, soul of the alpha, and then literally boosts up damage. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking. Okay. Lifeline. Okay, going to say I'm literally just going to go and just do more foraging because of damage. But going back to what I'm about to say, I think ultimately how they are running it would actually dumb. Boom. Mainly how they were basically running that wasn't that good. Let me just say. Mainly, I figured out how they were running it. Mainly that a company would basically, I'm making an assumption, making two assumptions, mainly that VJojo, I need to figure out a good, is basically using, basically how they were running it pretty awful. There's virtually no way I could say. Basically how they were running it basically like that. Basically they were not paying people, which is bad. But basically how they were running that company basically showed how much they couldn't. Mainly I want to see their business model, because the only thing I have was like yeah, well, I want. But basically, how they were running it basically was going to fail. I'm going to say that. Hold on. Cool. Yeah, I'll do that one, and then. Dude, I'm like. Basically, the marketability of it, I think we're going to fail anyways. Hold on. Boom. But basically how it was running, I think it was bad. I think like ultimately when you run a company like that, I think the big issue, ironically enough, I can make the point, what IPs. And that may sound bad, but I think the bigger issue was there were virtually, hold on. Yeah, okay, and boom. Yeah, I'm just fishing this for one item. But as I was saying, I think that the bigger issue is how they ran that. I think you can actually view it in that way. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Get my hit range. Wait, can I? But as I was saying, I think how they were running it, I think the big issue was that it would you can view it in 3 ways. While I'm playing. Okay, cool. Basically, how they were running it, I think the bigger issue you can view it as mainly they don't have commissional rates. Ultimately, they're going to be at loss every year, and they're almost an ad agency. Which sound way worse, but I think that's the only way you can view it as. I like the oh wait, I got a trigger. I like how the okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. There's one thing I want to look at. Ah. Yeah, but no, as I was saying, basically you can view that. I think everything they did was a terrible company. The more I learned, the more I'm like, hopefully I get more ents. I need like a ton more. Boom. Come on, please don't give me more. I need more Treg-agons. Dude, they're like literally the most totally fun. But no. But literally like all this stuff coming up, and $20, it can get worse. But I would say this, because I don't know how the contract is. This is just speculation. I don't recommend using any of the models that they made in-house. Most likely they copyright that. And most likely, I'll say this also. $20. We're going to see a manipulation. $20. I think we're going to see the big exodus of VTubers. Like, oh. 2. And I'll just do that one. This is like the one benefit I like about most of my armor set. Is the immunity. I'm slowly dying. But no. I put a thing on Twitter. I basically put a unofficial offer as like a joke, because I'm like, they need $10. I feel it gonna be, and I will keep doubling down. But literally, by the way, they're being paid because from what I heard, what I heard is, and this is like true. From what I've been hearing, from what I've been hearing, from what I heard, mainly that they overspend on advertisement, which I don't think is the reason. I think like Hololive is smart about their marketing. I think VShojo, and it's something looking back, because I generally didn't watch. I think I only, but I generally didn't watch any VTubers when like VShojo was popular, but a lot of it marketing. I think they're marketing bad. Because, okay, so because, okay, this is how. Hololive marketing is mainly based on clip channel and basically using hyper of that to basically get audiences. Then once the audience boosts up their interest, you basically get them on the streams. 1, 2, Instagram and Twitter into a basic degree. let me check something before I say this statement. Okay, I'm checking one thing, and if this is true, I'm going to be... Oh. Okay, I'm on their main Twitter. July 15, July 12, June. So about every... Yeah, dude, their Instagram marketing was bad. Hold on. Like, my Instagram marketing, terrible, let me be clear. But I'm also lazy. But, like, there's about a week. Like... Yeah, the marketing went bad. I'm going straight up to say, like, they're, like, what you kind of want, if you want a good marketing team, is you kind of want to hit a quota per day. So, for example, if I go on Hololives, I'll do EN because, like, because their marketing, I think, ultimately really good on... Oh, wait, sorry, hold on, I'm pulling up something. So V showed you that... Yeah, they're not even following anybody. Where's the left post? Look at that. Okay. What do Highlight Production EN? They post... Yeah, they're actually... You can tell they're actually good at marketing. And I'm saying better than V, because I think the issue, V Jojo never marketed on, like, any platform you needed to market. Like, for example, I think the issue is, and this is going to sound like I'm, like, being a jerk. When I go on V Jojo's, I can't tell that reaction. Like, I will actually, on, like, for example, what do their 1 day ago, or what do a week ago, like, so about 6 days, them talking about their event, 6 days, June 17th, they did override, but they keep going with some stuff, but they like their official marketing, and I'm assuming they do their, like, big things. Now going to the shoujo eclipse. All of it eclipse. Which is good if you're a small YouTuber. But when you're big, you want to put that into a marketable asset. Basically, you want, like, those type of posts to go onto the individual... Hey. Oh, that's smart. But you kind of want to go with markability. The issue is, and this is what I'm seeing, is that Yeah, okay, but I'll let's go in. In markability, I think Hololive does a way better job, and I could double check phase. Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah. That should be because I didn't even hit it. Okay, but as I was saying, if I were looking at this as a... Oh cool, I got wolf skin. And... yeah, but as I was saying, Hololive does a lot more thing, and you could tell that they were trying to be official, and they most likely use clip channel or sub as a way of marketing, or they use main as a way to... And that what I think is happening is that they didn't have good markability. They didn't have any way that you could see that sort of... And because of that, you could sort of see that they didn't really have a successful route. And that's sort of important to actually look at stuff. Hold on a second. I actually like how much... But as I was saying, that I think it's sort of the big issue. There's no markability. Most likely their manager were failing. And it like sort of, I think, invert. Because, like, definitely like... I know the Japan side does a lot more like skip marketing. I'm just here to... Boom. I want to see if I... But markability wise, I think... Okay, I'm going... But basically markability. If I go on, let's say... I think CC does a... yeah, bye. Oh, okay, Hololive. Hololive does decent event and all that, and basically have a way to actually make sure it can run pretty well. It also, a cool fact, prevents people from taking advantage of the company. Which I think matters a lot more to someone. But I had a... But the theory I have was that... But basically my theory is that when they were basically running that company, there, from what I could tell, marketing would, I think, really bad. Because finding a cherry. Yeah. I don't care. I just need a decent amount. But my theory is basically when it was running, there were basically loopholes that were going in, basically hitting it. Left. And basically when it was running, I think they didn't have marketing. That's the one issue from what I'm seeing, was that markability was just bad. And that basically prevents it from doing a lot of stuff it should have. And I think that's the only way. Mainly, I think that one of the issues was that markability ultimately sort of affected the way how it was being used. That mainly because how the company was running, I think ultimately had issue. Mainly, I have one set. But basically, I think that alongside other factors changed the way how it was being used. Just mainly that the company basically beat V Shodo basically ran the company similarly to most how someone would run. Sorry, I'll look at this. I think I have that one. So I need 100, which I have 48. But basically, Vichoda ran that basically like a. Basically, there are no advertisement on other pages. I could probably check TikTok because that should be a decent money area. It's definitely for even short term. Like there should be not issue with them posting at least stuff there. I have a theory they didn't. And my theory is that they weren't because they realized that one, it didn't really help them. But then that creates other issue, mainly the financially speaking. That they were doing that for other reasons. Or two. And it's probably the bigger reason. Oh, I thought that was... Oh, that's scary. I thought that was a hidden leaf. But all that. We're also going to aim for one of them. There is one I can get pretty quickly. Okay, how much? I don't know. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I rather have these deleted. They're not big. But mainly, I think that is what's happening. We're getting the orbs. Okay, and then one more. Okay, now if I go to not you. Oh. Yeah, how many do I need? Okay, so I want to go for some of these. And then after I get this, I'm going to end stream. Oh, no. Wait, is it also giving the thing that is sort of important? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And then we got 3. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then yeah, I want to check one thing. I mean, just getting this is a pretty good deal. This is pretty quick, and then one more. And then I'm going to end after this one. I mean, one. I'm literally. I'm gonna keep going for this because this is like somewhat quick. Okay, this one. And then one more. Ooh, see. Mm-hmm. And then dude, I actually love. I mean, this is actually pretty good. I'm about 5 there. This is not taking a. I'm literally at 16. And this is boosting up my like elite teleportation. Like at least now I could like I'm literally like almost 20 the way there. One more. And then after this one, I'm actually ending. Yeah, I'm actually ending because I want at least 20 so I can get mana 6. But with that, I'm ending streams.